right, sorry guys, I actually hit leave the stream, or end the stream. It has happened before. I'm a fucking idiot, but let's just keep going with this. And we have Glory, we have one fight night 26, and we have the top ranked boxing card with Navarrete versus Valdez 2. So let's get into probably Glory first, and then one fight night and boxing, and then let's get to our full card picks.
Cool. So yeah, Glory is this weekend. Tomorrow. So Andy Semelier, I think former champion, is going to take on Jay Overmere, and it's really weird because Jay Overmere was like this guy that was being pushed like in their like smaller shows like a lot, while Semelier was like fighting the top of the heap, in Glory. The reason I say it's interesting is that they're matched up is because they actually have like similar records. With Overmere having 5-3 in the promotion.
I remember Overmere,
but he's just like not that good, and Semelier has done better over like top competition. But really, the biggest thing is because he's from the Netherlands. Also,
right.
Like he kind of sounds like Overmere is like Semelier and Overeem like mixed together. I always thought that was funny. Ozgoklian, a guy who's always... What's that?
Bizarro Overeem.
Yeah, exactly. Ozgoklian, a guy who's always in a fun fight. Number 2 ranked. See, I don't understand matchmaking in Glory because he's like number 2 ranked, and he's going up a guy who's like 2-0 in the promotion who's unranked. Really weird.
Almost like booking Kron Gracie versus Bryce Mitchell.
Typhon Ozcan, another guy who's I've seen quite a bit, going up against Smalley. This will be another good fight. Let's see, and I think I have to go to the main card here. But yeah, this is Glory Collision, so it's like the top. It's like their number 1 show of the year, basically. Milos Shvetnikin. This is a guy who Jay from Rush Hour actually interviewed, and he told me that this guy was like a killer. In his last fight, he came in and just knocked out the guy he was fighting like really quick. So expect him to do big things. He's going up against Chroma, who's 2-0. Again, 2-0 in the division. He's already ranked number 9. Kind of strange, but expect Shvetnikin to kind of take over that spot. And then we got Laduni, a guy who I really don't like at all because he kind of sucks.
Yes, I remember you hate Laduni.
Yes, not a big fan of the Frenchman Laduni. So hopefully he gets beat.
Where's Brian Battle when you beat him?
Yeah, right. Caceres versus Torre. Good fight. Another, ranked guys, top 10 guys, light heavyweight. Maslowev and Letishu. Letishu was in the light heavyweight Grand Prix that was just recently. So, yeah, again, the number 3 and number 5 guy in the division. Good stuff. But we've got the Golden Wolf. Oh my gosh, dude. Bahram Rajamzadeh. So Bahram was like one of my favorite kickboxers. Until he pulled that shit in his last fight where he headbutted a guy. Levy Riggers actually who is going to be fighting Rico. So now he's a disgrace to me. He had complained to Glory that he's not getting enough fights, which is weird because he's fought like 5 times this year. And anyway, he got that loss to Levy, kind of due to his own dumbassery. And now he's fighting a guy literally making his debut in the promotion, who is 34-5. Really weird, but yeah, there's Bahram.
I guess we'll understand their logic in the future.
Yeah. Hababe is taking on Abina. So I think Abina already beat him in the in the tournament, right?
I'd assume so. I remember Abina took on him.
Right. Yeah. So I think he already beat him in the tournament, but now he's going to take him because obviously those tournaments are one night. Yeah. The fight could, theoretically go different if they had training camp, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. So now he's going in for the full belt of Hababe's. Expect him to probably get it done, get a win because he already did beat him once, be having that confidence. And then we got Rico Verhoeven, the king of kickboxing, taking on Levi Ritgers. Do you know anything about this matchup?
Is it classic Glory, huge jump up the rankings for a title fight that doesn't make much sense, or is Richter's actually a really tough number one contender for Verhoeven to beat?
So Levi Ritgers, actually, let me go through his record really quick. But he is the most deserving guy inside of the sport. So that Levi Ritgers versus Bahram Rajamzadeh fight a few months ago, if you remember, where he got the headbutt.
Mm-hmm.
He headbutted him on purpose. That was actually for a Rico Verhoeven sweepstakes fight. So the weird thing about it, if we go back through old Levi Ritgers' career, he makes his debut at Glory 76 in a little heavyweight tournament, and he actually loses the tournament to Tariq Hababez. Okay, makes it to the final.
Right.
He then beats Tariq Osaro, beats Bahram Rajamzadeh. He beats Bahram Rajamzadeh in a heavyweight Grand Prix. Okay,
Glory.
This was earlier this year in March.
Yeah.
Okay.
Forget.
And then he takes on Rico Verhoeven.
What a fucking joke.
And he gets a TKO with 4 knockdowns. So then he literally gets 2 wins over Horta and Bahram. And now he's taking on Rico again. In collision.
Oh, man.
I mean, you can't make this up. Like, I want to just show you, like, my screen because just to show you how ridiculous this is.
People are just on the edge of their seats for this one.
What's the thing is, it's like, he is the most deserving guy. Oh, jeez. Can you hear this?
Nope.
Okay, perfect. Because I fucked up there. Yeah, look at this. Like, you literally can't make this up.
Somehow YouTube will still catch it. Lost to Rico. TKO.
So he's got Bahram, Rico, Horta, Bahram, Rico. Like, what the hell?
Lame.
I mean, it just makes no sense. Anyway, this kind of shows.
Cool.
Well, but this kind of just shows you like the state of glory. Because I mean, every combat sport you watch, like heavyweight's the gateway drug, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if heavyweight is in this state in the top promotion for heavyweights, it's bad. It's bad news for kickboxing because
very bad.
The guy who gave Rico his toughest fight. Now, Badr Hari used to be that guy. Like, he used to be whooping up on Rico. Like, they fought twice. And he was whooping up on Rico, and then, like, his shoulder fell out, and then, like, his leg fell out. So, now one of Badr's, like, underlings, Jamal Ben Sadiq, beat the shit out of Rico in a very close fight. He actually, like, damn near killed Rico, but Rico just is unkillable. And in, like, the final round, he TKO'd Jamal because Jamal is a massive human and Rico has crazy stamina.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a good fight.
So what happened was now Jamal had a bunch of legal troubles, which understandable, but then Rico became like part of the Glory like board of directors, which is a conflict of interest. But yeah, basically icing Jamal out of the promotion, which again, he had legal issues. But anyway, long story short, Collision, biggest card of the year, and it's a rematch. Rico already beat the guy earlier this year. So
it's going to be a big draw. Big time draw.
But to be fair to Levy, like he did do good against Rico in their fight, but yeah, man.
You know how we can actually get a net positive out of this whole fucking circus? Rico wins in 5 seconds and then just grabs the microphone. Hey, Alex Pereira, where you at, boy? Let's have ourselves a scrap. Woo!
Well, it's interesting that you say that because
Ngannou. Sorry, Ngannou.
Yeah, I would love to see him in Ngannou. I would actually like to see that. I've wanted to see. There was footage Francis training with Rico before the Cyril Gahn fight, and I've wanted to see that fight ever since then.
Backstory.
But as far as him versus Alex, like there was a time after Alex won the light heavyweight and middleweight, like he was a Glory double champ, that I wanted to see that fight. But then he came to the UFC, so
it's actually crazy that I had another potential dream fight that I accidentally said by mistake. That would actually be valid.
You're kind of quiet right now. What's up?
Hello?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, there we go. I was too far away from the mic. I've heard speaking of audio, a good compliment. I've heard B-17 pilot radio transmissions from World War II footage that had better audio than Skatesman.
What the fuck?
Might be a little too scrappy.
How is my audio still bad? Like, I don't understand.
It's just very loud.
Is it loud?
Mine's probably too quiet. And somebody is
I
just
turned it down.
Wait, say something now.
Something.
There you go. Now you're good. Genuine question here. Just made the Tapology thingy and locked in my picks. But what's the purpose of it? Just to see if you get them all right? Well, it depends. If you enter Tapology fight leagues for the year, if you enter multiple of those, you have a chance of getting like some actual prizes if you get number one in those fight leagues. But a lot of it's just for credit and for merit and for like, your own pleasure in getting picks right. It's just fun.
So if you are in Rush Hour Fight Club's YouTube and you are a subscribed paid member of the channel and you win, if you have the most wins at the end of the year, we actually all donate to a pot, and this is just specifically in Rush Hour Fight Club. There's like $350 on the line, so if you actually get the most wins by the end of the year and you're a paid member, you get the pot at the end of the year. So
nice. But that depends on which Tapology fight league you are joining.
But ours, the one that we show and we participate in, is the Rush Hour Fight Club.
Mm-hmm.
So,
also, just a quick breakdown, and this is just going to take a couple seconds. So for LFA, my lock is Beatriz Mosquita by round 1 sub. Underdog is Charlotte Craig by decision. Octagon 64, I got Max Holzer by round 2 submission as a lock. And then my underdog is Jacob Donal by decision. So just to let people know before we get into the bigger shows. Yes, there are prizes like money, as well as other things that are fun.
I mean, but it depends. Like, I don't know. I don't know what other leagues do that. So
calling in Little Boy and Fat Man. Yes.
Good to see you, S.S. Jackson.
I'm the Fat Man. One event was fired this morning.
Yeah, the whole card was sick, actually, to be fair.
I thought they said fired isn't canceled. That's better. Okay, it's nice to have Juiceman in the
yeah, it is, but it's like I don't understand what's the point of it? What the fuck do you mean? Fun. Like just making picks. I don't know.
If you're passionate about predicting and you like to pick fights, that's the website for you. What
but anyway, I think that this Glory Collision card is like a testament to how far kickboxing has fallen off the face of the earth, because K1 has been badass this year. If you can watch it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't watch it unless you live in Japan. There's no fucking way unless you're gonna scroll through Chinese Chinese fucking Twitch for hours on end and maybe find a stream.
Yeah, I don't know who would in their right mind would do something like that. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, even in S.S. Jackson's like, oh yeah, Glory. Yeah, but it's tomorrow. But yeah, I mean,
there's
whatever. So the next event that'll be taking place today, obviously Glory's tomorrow. When is LFA? Today?
Oh yeah, I think that's today.
Okay.
Usually 7 o'clock. But let me check.
Are you interested in any fight on this one championship card?
Yes, I'm interested in DeBella. So I want to see DeBella fight. I think there's a few other guys that I'm interested in.
So Thongpoon and Daniel Williams, that'll be a banger.
I also did full card picks for the MMA fights on this one, so I might have some knowledge.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so Thongpoon and Daniel Williams be a good fight. Daniel Williams fought in MMA kickboxing, so Thongpoon will probably clean him up.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we have a
PM PST for LFA classic.
Okay. Yeah. So submission grappling. Who cares? Now, why is Jonathan DeBella taking on some guy in kickboxing?
Chautry jail. And apparently, Chatri likes instant rematches, but not ones for John DeBella. Wait, didn't he give him the rematch and then it was some weird ass draw or something? I forget. What was John's last fight? Did
Go
he?
look it up.
Yeah, I
He
am.
says, "Oh yeah, Rico Vancouver or whatever the fuck is." Hey, look, Rico
Nice.
Verhoeven is that dude in kickboxing, and he has been for years. But he's just cleaned out the division. Like, I would love to see Rico do literally anything else other than like fight whoever is there in glory because he's already beat everybody. So it's just really uninteresting. I mean, to the point where they were going to give Botrom the title fight if he would have beat Levy, and he's a light heavyweight. He was even small for light heavyweight.
It's weird that they're calling this guy Jonathan DeBella. Anywhere else you look at this guy, his name's John DeBella, but they have the very official, formal version. So
Did you look up his record?
he hasn't had a fight since he lost the belt in what I consider to be sort of a bullshit decision. I thought he clearly won that fight, and instead of getting his rematch for a weird decision, they have just given him, I guess, a contender before he can.
Well, not only that, he's the third fight up on the card. Like,
Yeah,
what?
disrespect, man. Chatri jail, classic Chatri.
Yeah. And then Shinya Aoki is going to grapple a guy.
Yeah, I have him by decision, pretty sure.
Yeah. Shamil Gazanov versus Halil Amir. That's going to be a good MMA fight. You have a pick for that one?
Yes, I have Gasanov by decision in that one, just because his grappling superior for the most part. Halil Amir is tough. He's a scary guy on the feet, but even, scary power punchers usually get taken down by Gasanov and dominated.
Tell us about Yuya Wakamatsu versus Gilbert Nakatani.
So it seems like Nakatani hasn't had any time in ONE FC, I'm pretty sure. Let me look at this. Yeah, he's been in LFA. So I almost view this as the same thing as having like Diaz. What was his first name? He was in there against Ming Yang Zhang, Ozzy Diaz. It's like bringing in Ozzy Diaz against Ming Yang Zhang in the UFC. I mean, this guy's beating a 0-3 guy, 1-2 guy. Great. Now he did beat some undefeated guys in LFA, won by decision, but this guy Wakamatsu, his second to last fight, he got a KO of a 21-6 guy in 15-3 guy. Kingad, he beat him fairly handily.
Oh yeah, Kingad.
I think that Nakatani isn't going to be an issue. And plus, are they going to be fighting in the ring for this one or in the cage?
Depends on where it is. Let's see. Check. Oh, it's in Lumpini Stadium. So yeah, this will be in the ring.
I don't think he's going to be used to the ring. I don't think he's going to be used to it. Wakamatsu is very used to the ring, so I think Wakamatsu is going to dominate him. You just where they're fighting and how much experience you've had in one. I like Wakamatsu. I think he is fantastic. He's really good. He's going to shove his hand in his face. He's going to smother him just like this. He's going to grab him, and he's going to choke the life out of him. So give me Wakamatsu.
There you go. Legendary SS Jackson says Rico might as well switch to MMA. Like, is he an Alex and that Artem dude? What's up, Too Smelly? What is your thoughts on that? Rico should just switch to MMA.
No, because he won a title in kickboxing.
Well, and he's had the Glory title for ever since he's been in the promotion, basically. Never lost it. No, I think that it's more just like Glory doesn't care, and they're just letting their promotion die. Like, not to mention the Artem dude that you mentioned was their middleweight or was their light heavyweight champion. Like, he literally was the champ, and they banned all Russian fighters because of the war in Ukraine. Glory did, so that's why he's in MMA now. But no, I think like to me it's stupid because they do like just coming up really soon is going to be a Glory versus Rise versus K1 like card, like tournament card. And why the fuck isn't Rico fighting Lucy, like the K1 heavyweight champion? Like, what are we doing? Like, that would be a fight everybody would genuinely be interested in. But because Rico's on the board of directors for Glory, which is a conflict of interest, he's not going to do anything that's going to jeopardize his. I mean, Rico's literally pulling a John Jones right now.
That is unfortunate. What a little puppet master manipulator behind.
But the only difference is there's no like Tom Aspinall for him to fight, you know, because he's already beat everybody. Like, he's cleaned out the division.
That's Ngannou. So yeah, but he never let that happen. But got paid as he said, as John Jones said, Ngannou money.
Yeah, but yeah, thank you for the comment. So we have Dennis Pearce taking on Elias Mahmoudi. What the fuck was Mahmoudi's last fight? Because I remember Dennis Pearce Taiki Naito, Edgar Tabarez. Okay, so he's up and down, but he's on a 2-fight win streak. Last fought on that on the Jap. I don't know.
Kickboxing is no business shooting itself in the foot.
Yeah. So yeah, Dennis Purich, the guy who made his debut in the company, or actually, sorry, he beat Jacob Smith, and then he goes, "I want to fight Rod Tang," and we're like, "What?"
Yeah, that's not.
And then he just like gets the Rod Tang fight.
Then got demolished.
Yeah, and then versus Elias
Or
Mahmoudi.
the extent that Rod Tang can demolish an opponent, because usually he's just like, yeah, party,
Right.
leg kicks.
Oh shit. Mahmoudi has a win over Lurdzilla. That's sick, dude. Lurdzilla is a fucking Muay Thai legend. Dude, I'm gonna send you some Lurdzilla videos. You know what? Let's go with Mahmoudi. He beat Lurdzilla, and actually, Purich is getting older.
Yeah.
What's that?
Do you know who Monkelpech is?
Monkelpech? Yeah, I mean I've probably seen him on Friday Fights, but
then he destroyed Naito and Edgar Juarez.
Tabarez is a guy who Rod Tang fought in Colorado when they first were there.
That's neat.
Yeah, it is.
I remember that fight. I remember that.
Yeah, he destroyed him.
Yeah. Amazingly had a finish.
But yeah, Lurdzilla, if you beat Lurdzilla, I'm gonna root for you. So, and Dennis Pierce getting older. Reese McLaren versus Jared Brooks. Isn't he the Monkey King? They got head slammed, or is that the other guy?
Yeah, he is the guy who had slam and lost his belt because of it, like a dumbass. And you know what? He actually did the same damn thing in the UFC before he went to one, where he lifted a guy up and he slammed him down and he knocked himself out doing the slam. That was the self slam knockout from Jared.
Yeah, but he got slammed. He didn't slam himself.
No, he did slam himself.
Not in the last fight with
no, not in the last. That's how he dropped the other. But in the UFC, he slammed the other guy and knocked himself out.
So he's the guy. He was the slammy or the slammed.
He was the slammy in the UFC.
Oh,
and it's a very funny visual.
What about his? I'm talking about his last fight.
No, he was also the slammy in the one fight.
Okay,
he knocked himself
got
out,
it.
broke the other guy's neck.
So this guy doesn't have a lot of luck with slams. Your thoughts on this fight?
Just stop fucking doing it. I miraculously enough have dude, that hit that rang Gatesman's bell right there. I have Jared Brooks by decision. If he doesn't slam his opponent on his head, then he is going to win this one because he's got the best grappling and flyweight MMA, and he was dominating. He was dominating his opponent before that slam. He just won the belt against a really good opponent. So I mean, he's on a hot streak, but once again, these fighters find a way to get themselves into Chaudhry jail, and here we are once again.
Okay, so we have
the based one, King Chad, Andrew B.
Cool. Oh shit, what's up, Dane? Good to see you.
Hey, our two good buddies. Brooks will win too. Good stuff.
I'm better than others. But,
base pick.
But yeah, so we got Bastos versus Kelly. So this is a rematch. Do you remember watching this?
Yeah, and it was shocking because I believe Kelly was like a big favorite, but then Bastos just completely destroyed her.
No. So okay,
about that.
No work today, my friend. No, we're gonna get your quote done soon. Hopefully, Degenerate Dane will be paying me some money to install his Windows soon. Let's hope.
Good friend.
So the fight. Okay, so do you know how one grappling is judged?
Is it judged? Wait, no, that's beyond just like, oh, hey, you got a point because you got this. Is it judged based on who's getting the better of the scrambles?
No, I think it's judged based on catches.
Right,
so like,
right.
Yeah. So like a catch is like a submission attempt,
but that's not really like a judge because that's more of like a scorecard.
Right. I don't know.
It's a point system.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought that Daniel Kelly, but again, I barely even know the rules, right? Like I'm asking you. So Daniel Kelly appeared to me to have more submission attempts in the fight, but then like I don't think that every submission attempt like counts as like a catch.
Right. It got locked in and it's like, oh, he's clearly pulling on it. And
right. So long story short, I thought it was close. I thought Kelly even won by the end of it. But I thought that Bastos was just like I don't know how to like defensive enough, and wasn't letting Kelly like do what she does
Right.
to win. But either way, I mean,
Matches.
both of them kind of suck either way. Like, I don't know. It's grappling. So what do you want me to do?
Isn't there all? However, in grappling, isn't there also like, dude, if you just lock in the sub and they tap, then you just win the whole thing? Because I've seen Mikey.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So Daniel Kelly wasn't able to get the sub. Bastos was able to get more catches, and that's just what won her the fight. And
yeah, but yeah, I thought it was close. I thought Kelly at the end of the thing would have won, but
my question is, who do you have winning the rematch?
I don't know.
I'll go with Kelly because that's what Chatri wants, and what
Chatri
wants.
That's a good point. Yes,
I didn't go to work today. I was not up to it and made my staff sick. God, everybody's sick. Everybody's fucking sick.
I know. That's why I have a cough right now.
Yeah, so let's not leave the house, ladies and gentlemen.
Knock Robin Kong Thorny. That'll be a good fight. Any Muay Thai fight's good. So I guess the real interesting thing, the top of the card, is Christian Lee taking on Rasulov. Christian Lee, his last couple fights look like this. Just starting from the top down, he beat a guy named Kuriam Abasov in 2022 in November. So literally like almost 2 years to the day.
Yeah.
Then he had that 2-fight thing with Okrayun, Timothy Nastyukin, Luri Lapicus, and then to be fair to Christian Lee, when did his sister die?
I think it was like 2020, 2021, right?
I'm not sure. So, and then literally this guy that he's fighting, Rasulov, has one fight in the promotion, and it's against Okrayun, and he beat him by decision.
Yeah. Whereas Christian Lee knocked that motherfucker out.
So yeah.
1 second.
What's your pick for this one, though?
Oh no, it was 2022. I was off by a year. It was later.
Well, that makes sense why he has had such a layoff, I guess.
Years. Yeah. I've got Christian Lee by knockout because he gets knockouts. He gets finishes. Rasulov does not get finishes. He had a way worse opponent against a Korean fighter in ONE FC, which Skatesman has told me to don't pick the fucking Korean in the MMA fight, and he was right. But still was a close fight regardless. And Rasulov has not had any fights in ONE before that one. That was literally his debut fight. The rest have been on the regionals. So he does not have the level of experience. I mean, look at fucking Christian Lee. He's got 2 belts on his shoulders. And Christian Lee is just a knockout artist. And he's good at grappling, counter grappling too. So he's the complete package. He's also got motivation because he's probably going to do this for his sister who passed away and he was gone forever. So never doubt a motivated fighter after family members passing. He's going to whoop some fucking ass. I got him by round 1 KO.
Cool.
There you
Good
go.
Shit. So, should we talk about
party
Navarrete and Valdez?
No, dude, go to her. I already signed up for it. Probably don't go, Andrew B. If you're still feeling sick, don't go. Lee for me.
Andrew B has a job.
Andrew B always has the best picks. He does have a job. Yes, he's actually way older than people think he is.
Is he like 100?
He's like in his 30s.
Oh.
So he is. That's why he's the base one, dude. He's out-aged all of us. He's probably older than Isha. Anyway, I'm gonna go grab my water while Skatesman does.
Yeah, you do that. Fucking ending the stream on me. How dare you, Hank? You bastard. All right, so rematch City. Oh God. Okay. All right. Okay, so we got Richard Torres Jr. Wait a second. What the fuck?
You gotta wait a couple seconds after I've gone and like the door is fully closed.
What the fuck is Richard Torres Jr.? Is that the guy that I know there's a Richard Torres, but I didn't know he was a junior. Anyway, whatever.
Share the screen.
Oh yeah. Thanks.
If I'm 100, you must be 200. Oh, yeah. Man, that was brutal stuff.
You interested in anybody on this stupid card? Look at they're making the WBO Latino super flyweight title.
We gotta have some big Latino boxing, man. That's what brings in the eyes. Sadly enough, I think I picked every single fight on this, which is
Wow.
honestly. Oh wait, no, I didn't because there's one more that I of course it got fucking added last minute. God, and they're both Chuck Norris. God fucking damn it. Now I have to read through this thing.
Well, these two Chuck Norrises. You don't need
Yeah.
to read through this. I don't think anyone cares.
All right, I won't then. Let me go through the picks actually.
I think Richard Torres Jr. is. I think he usually has a mustache. So.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, this guy always knocks out a bum. Always fun.
Yes, I remember. I have him by decision against Isaac.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at these results. A disqualification, spinning out a mouth guard. Wait, never mind. What the fuck? KO.
That's funny.
And this guy Munoz, he's only lost by decision. I think he's tough, and I think that Torres is probably going to be overrated. He's probably going to take it to a decision. So I'm just assuming it's because there are guys who are like huge power punchers in boxing who have ended up going to decisions on the big cards. So I could easily see it happening. So
SS Jackson, always on point with the boxing stuff. He says they're gonna bring the Negro titles back. The way sanctioning body is moving with these Reggie belts.
Negro, that's in Spanish. Negro. Totally.
That's hilarious. Anything else you're interested in?
About to see you guys. I'm interested in, I guess, Delgado versus Jackson Martinez. I got Delgado by round 7 KO. Just because Jackson Martinez.
No, for the Latino title.
Yes, for the big ass. Everybody's interested in the Latino title. Delgado's just a tough cookie. He's got power. Jackson Martinez, he stays in there most of the time.
Marinez.
Oh, Marinez. No, it's not Martinez. Marinez. Sorry, Freudian slip. But it's going to be a finish on this boxing card that I think is not full of finishes at all. The last two are going to be great fights, but I don't see finishes in those. So this is going to be the big knockout we have before the two headliner title fights. Also, Albert Gonzalez is a really he's a powerful dude as well. So I'm looking forward to it. Albert Gonzalez. I look forward to him getting around 6 KO as well.
Chop. The -2,000. You're picking the -2,000 favorite. Wow.
Well, I'm picking everybody on this card, but I'm just saying what I'm looking forward to in terms of like results, outcomes.
Cool.
Oh, speaking of drunken boxing, we have drunken boxing here in the Skate Tank Army chat.
Yeah, the homie. What's up, CST? Good to see you.
CST, the
Ringas either outpoints you, gets robbed, or gets KO'd.
Wow. Yeah, wow. Martinez for you.
Marinez.
I know.
But
now we have real shit.
I think this was like one of the fights of the year. Robesi Ramirez and Espinoza. Everybody was saying it was a really good fight, but it was on during God, SS Jackson, tell me what was happening during this. I think it was one of Navarrete's fights, or it was some other really big fight was happening at the same time during this one. So nobody watched it, but it was like one of the best fights of the year.
Yeah.
Getting a rematch of it, so that'll be fun.
Put it on pay-per-view. Yeah.
Then we've got Navarrete versus Oscar Valdez.
I see. By the way, I see Espinoza winning the rematch because he showed a lot of heart in the first fight, and now he's like more confident as a champion, so he'll have a good mentality going into the rematch. Whereas I don't see Ramirez has to really like fix his cardio and have a good gym going into this one, and I often don't see in rematches the one who lost making those adjustments, but could easily happen. It was a close fight last time.
So you have any thoughts on Oscar Valdez versus Navarrete?
I think Navarrete is being given basically a gift with this one, since his last two fights, he has either gone to a draw or he has lost by split decision to Dennis Baranchik, and he was very lucky.
Baranchik, but so this was like, what the fuck happened? We had, I think it was like Lomachenko, and then like Usyk fought, and then like some other random Ukrainian guy, and then Baranchik fought Valdez or Navarrete, and I was like, yo, fuck this guy. I was like, fuck this Baranchik guy. Everyone loves Navarrete. And then he actually ended up beating his ass, like easily.
Pulled him. Completely figured him out.
So that was kind of a surprise.
He's very lucky that wasn't for a belt. Very lucky.
And then I think he kind of punched up a little bit too high because I think Hobson Conceição was like fights at a higher weight class than Navarrete.
Yes. And that went to a majority draw. That I think a lot of people were arguing that Canseco won that one as well. So honestly, Navarrete has not been on a good roll.
He's looked like shit.
But I still think he beats Oscar Valdez. Now, this could easily be, Navarrete's washed or he's completely lost his rhythm.
Right.
But I remember that he schooled Valdez. He beat him up. It was close, but he did more decisively beat him compared to his last two fights.
So Oscar Valdez, really exciting fighter. He really got on the map when he knocked out Miguel Berchelt, who was like the boogeyman of the division. And then if you've never seen this knockout of Valdez on Miguel Berchelt, please go watch it because it is insanely vicious and violent. Then he fights Hobson Conceição, beats him in a UD, and then he goes up against Shakur, which to me was like Shakur's last like masterful, awesome performance. He fucking schooled Valdez, and he just played Matador. Valdez goes up against Adam Lopez, gets a win, but then he goes up against Navarrete, and it was kind of more of a blood and guts affair, but kind of more of the same. The problem, in my opinion, with Valdez is he blocked a lot of the shots that were coming at him from Navarrete with his face and broke his orbital. And I think I don't think the fight actually ended up getting stopped, but they did look at it a couple times. So I just don't know if I trust Oscar Valdez to not have something similar happen to him. But I do really truly believe that Valdez still has that ability to knock out Navarrete. The problem is like he hasn't gotten a knockout since in 4 years, since actually 2021, in 3 years. So like I don't know, man. I don't know. He actually had a TKO in his last fight against Liam Wilson, this fucking guy. But like a high level opponent, he hasn't knocked out in 3 years. So
yeah,
I don't know, man. I'm glad that SS Jackson brought up the odds, like plus 200 underdog Valdez, probably because he lost the last one, but now Navarrete's kind of on the slide a little bit. I think this is a fantastic fight, though. I love this fight, and you said it's a gift, but hey, you know what?
Well, both guys have had their ups. Comparatively speaking, compared to his last couple,
both guys have had their ups and downs, and I love the fight, man. It's going to be a good fight, just like it was last time. So you're picking Navarrete?
I think I will, but this could easily go to a draw. I could easily see that happening. If there's any fight for the Skatesman to bet some money on the draw, it's probably this one.
Oh, he said he's moving up in weight for this one. So that means the Valdez came down in weight for their other one?
Interesting.
Anyway, we don't know a lot about boxing over here.
Yeah, I'll still go with Navarrete just because he's clearly his style is beaten Valdez before. Should be two really fun fights though. And I had a great conversation with somebody on Discord where we just discussed how the difference between MMA cards and boxing cards is you just have to really wait for the good stuff with boxing most of the time. But with MMA, you could have the best part be the prelims compared to the main.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But I guarantee those last two fights are going to be great. So I'm going to it's probably going to be on at the same time as UFC. So I'm going to rewatch the last two fights in that. 126, like 2 fights ago tops.
That's crazy. Yeah, he's a good he's very entertaining. I just like how he has like awkward angles and he just like finds shots. He's very fun. But anyway,
is he taller than Navarrete?
I don't know. Already clicked off the screen.
Yeah, whatever. Fuck.
But anyway, let's get into the UFC. We've got our first fight of the night. Kennedy Nzechukwu stepping in on short notice to take on the biggest can in the UFC heavyweight division, which is Lucas Brzeski. This guy's terrible. He sucks. Okay, this is heavyweight. Let me read off the tape here. Kennedy Nzechukwu 13-5-0. And 13-5. He is 3-2 in his last 5 fights. He is fighting out of Fortis MMA. I believe their head coach is Safe Saud. Fantastic coach. He's 32. Lucas Brzeski is 1-4 in his last 5. 32, fighting out of Poland. So yeah, he got knocked out by Mick Parkin, beat Walter Walker. Knocked out by Waldo Cortez Acosta, decision, Carl Williams, and split decision, Martin Boudet. I don't. Yeah, anyway, either way, whatever. He's terrible. He's going to get knocked out first round. Kennedy Nzechukwu coming off that vicious beating of Chris Barnett. And though Lucas Brzeski like probably isn't as damaged, isn't like the most damaged goods, like either way. He's going to get knocked out. Kennedy going to do Kennedy things, but
yes, it
might take him a little bit longer to get there than I initially think. So maybe like if there's an over prop, maybe go with that. But nonetheless, my official pick will be round 1 knockout for Kennedy.
And I think that is a very clever pick from the Skatesman because I also have Kennedy Nzechukwu by first round knockout. A light heavyweight moving up to heavyweight usually translates to more speed and power from them than 80% of the UFC's out-of-shape heavyweights. Just look at his fight with Chris Barnett. And he's going to make light work of Lucas Brzeski, the can among heavyweight cans. If Walter Walker hadn't been an idiot carpetbag and thrown a single punch on Brzeski, he would have won his fight against him. And other than that, fluke win, he's been getting smoked by every heavyweight prospect the UFC puts in front of him, including Waldo Cortez Acosta, Salsa Boy, the guy who does not get knockouts. Need I say more? And the taller, light heavyweight might give Brzeski a tougher time than even Mick Parkin did. He just has too many physical advantages, and once he gets you up against the cage and you aren't technical at all, it's game over. Lucas Brzeski's just that, and the African Savage, as a result, is slaying a bull and feeding its remains to the tribe. Reinvigorated, unfair, tall, heavyweight Kennedy Nzechukwu. You'll love to see it. The African Savage loses. He's got to go. I don't think so. He had a great win against Chris Barnett. He got a knockout. If anything,
yeah, but he just looks bad against somebody he's not like totally overmatched against, or if they're not totally overmatched against him. So
I legitimately believe that OSP probably had the training camp among training camps for that fight with Kennedy Nzechukwu. He looked great in that fight and then looked absolutely atrocious afterwards. So I don't know if the stars aligned for that fight or what. If Kennedy had a bad camp or OSP had a good camp, but something happened, dude. Sometimes you just get these flukes and then
something happened. Maybe OSP is completely fucking washed.
Maybe.
Yeah. It's just that you picked him to win that fight, and now you're bummed out. It's like people like being like, Mike Tyson didn't look like himself. It's like, yeah, he's been washed for 20 years.
I mean, this Jarno Aaron's coming back and getting a great win against Stephen Ewan, and then fucking the Moroccan guy gets him down and immediately taps him, and he shows absolutely no.
Yeah, nobody knows what you're talking about.
Okay, well, it's an example.
Anyway, next fight is, speaking of washed, Clay Guida taking on Chase Hooper. Clay Guida is 38-24. God damn. He's 42, and he is 2-3 in his last 5. Last time he fought, by the way, 11 months ago. And yeah, Chase Hooper on the other end is 25, fighting out of Enumclaw, Washington. I just wanted to say that just to show you that I know how to say it.
Wow. Usually don't.
He's 4-1 and getting 2 subs in a row in his last 2. So the fight with Vyacheslav Borshev, Chase Hooper actually dropped Vyacheslav on his way to subbing him with the Darce.
Random ass overhand right. Also, good news.
So Chase Hooper coming into his own, getting a layup here against Clay. Chase Hooper's gonna win. Does he knock Clay out? I mean, Clay really hasn't been getting knocked out.
Got it.
He could sub him. It's probably the more likely outcome is the sub, but I do see him being able to knock out the 42-year-old at lightweight, even though, like, Clay, gotta give him his credit. He's scrappy. He has a lot of cardio, and
amazing he survived this long. But he had a win, I believe, a couple fights ago. So
yeah, a couple fights ago, which was almost 2 years ago, and it was a split decision against Scott Holtzman, the legendary Scott Holtzman. And then before that, his last win was almost 3 years ago. So yeah, no. But again, he's scrappy. He has a lot of cardio. So could he go the distance with Chase? Yeah. If Chase is anything like good or like improving, I think he should finish Clay. but it is kind of hard to finish Clay Guida, notoriously. So I'm gonna go safe and pick him by decision.
All right, the Idaho Skatesman way. I am going with Cooper by round 2 sub. My boy, Good Noodle, is getting this one done by round 2 sub. I think Guida's finally getting finished on the ground. I was unimpressed with Guida's losses to Joaquim Silva and Rafa Garcia, which is understandable given the dude's 42 years of age. What the hell is he still doing in the UFC other than getting a big fat paycheck and hoping to survive his fights? His striking looks subpar. He's just bouncing around and getting hit, and the mid-tier opponents he's facing are getting the better of him easy peasy. I think Hooper does Guida even worse than Silva and Garcia did, because this kid is getting better and better before our very eyes, knocking down Slava Claus of all people before getting the sub. He's absolutely nasty on the ground, and I think that's where most of this fight is going to take place, with Hooper perhaps even knocking Guida down before getting the sub. He's that well improved a fighter. The Carpenter's getting broken in half, good God almighty, and Hooper's chasing his dreams to their conclusion. Hooping on his opponents all the way through, and they say white boys can't jump. Seriously, why was this matchup made again?
Yeah, I have no idea. Hooper might be seeking a KO, says Drunken Boxing, working on a standing game. Yeah, definitely. I think that's probably likely. But yeah. SS Jackson says, be on the lookout for Ibe Abuche. He's fighting soon. Would have been brought up more in conversation in the late 90s. Tyson Lennox and Holyfield if he didn't get incarcerated. So, do you know who Ibe Abuche is?
No, I do not.
Do you know who David Tua is?
Yes. So,
Ibe Abuche had a fight with David Tua, and it was like the most punches ever landed in a heavyweight fight ever. And it was the fight that actually put David Tua on the map. Shortly after that, Ike had gotten incarcerated. So apparently he's coming back to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Hey, what's up, Pulse? He says that Tua versus Ike was a banger. Yeah, it was a fantastic. Actually, it's literally one of the best fights in boxing of all time.
How old do you think Ike is now?
I don't know. I don't care either.
Oh, jeez. Why don't you
over 1,000 punches? Yeah, it's literally one of the best boxing matches of all time. So yeah, definitely, as Paul says, I recommend everybody check that out if you're a fan of boxing. 100%, 120%. Okay, next fight will be Michael Chiesa versus Max Griffin. So this will be taking place at welterweight. Michael Chiesa is 2-3 in his last 5, fighting out of Spokane, and on the other side, Max Payne Griffin is 3-2 in his last 5. He's 39, so
it is Payne watching him fight.
Yeah, I mean, I've never hated Max Payne Griffin. I mean, he's got some okay wins. Carlos Condit 3 years ago. Neil Magny lost a split decision. Tim Means split decision. Michael Morales went to decision with Michael Morales. That's good.
By the way,
Jeremiah Wells split. He beat. What's up?
Isn't there a video game franchise called Max Payne?
Yeah, Max Payne is he's a superhero, bro.
Oh yeah. So that's why he named it. Got it.
Jeez. Oh, he's 50 something. What the fuck? Why is Ibe Abuche coming back at 50? Oh my god.
That's why I was wondering, because that's like an old early 2000s fight or something. Why the fuck's he coming back?
So Max has the ability to make his opponents that he loses to look bad, and then he also has the ability to have a boring fight and make everybody look bad. On the other end, Michael Chiesa beats Neil Magny almost 4 years ago, loses by decision to Vicente Luque.
Right.
Loses by decision to Sean Brady. Sorry. And then he gets darsed by Luque and Kevin Holland. And then he just sadly chokes Tony Ferguson out.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is both of these guys suck. But let's look at their strengths. So Max Payne is a decent kickboxer, right? Has decent hands, decent.
He's all right.
Yeah, he's good at tentative technical kickboxing. And then, obviously, Michael Chiesa, you wouldn't know it because he got subbed by Kevin Holland and Vicente Luque. But he has a pretty good ground game. So, I guess if Max Griffin can kind of hold off the takedown, he can get the win. But I don't even know. Both these guys kind of suck. But it's weird because, the Sean Brady fight, Michael Chiesa broke Sean Brady's nose, if you remember that.
Ooh.
And he was leaking down his face. So like
Calm before
Chiesa will have good stand up like out of nowhere sometimes. So it really just depends on what version of Chiesa shows up. But since he is from Spokane and I have to fade the people that live near me, I'm gonna go with Max Payne by decision. So what about you?
Not bad. I'm going with Chiesa by decision. I don't think Max Griffin's grappling is polished enough to stuff the takedowns of Michael Chiesa. Chiesa's only lost to real contenders like Vicente Luque, Sean Brady, and Kevin Holland. And against mid-tier competition, he's gotten them down and bullied them on the ground. Griffin's had close fights with Michael Morales, Jeremiah Wells, Tim Means, and Neil Magny, all because he couldn't stuff their takedowns. And with Chiesa, I don't think it's any different. The scrambles will decide this one, and I know who I'm picking to win those. Max Griffin is undergoing great pain on Saturday, courtesy of the Mavericks Danger Zone. 37 years old, be damned. Just ask Tom Cruise about turning back the clock. Ow! I'll be here all day, folks. I'll be here all day. Thank you. Thank you. Max Payne was a comic and a film first, if I recall.
Yeah. Drunken Box says, I never hated Max, but I never really liked him either. That's the problem. He's unspectacular either way.
An open book. With Damon.
We don't need to read all these comments of these conversations. Like, I don't know. I don't understand.
I found that funny. I like Matt.
All right. That's fair enough.
I'll be damned. It is Wahlberg. Mandela effect. I like that as well.
Did Max beat Mike Perry? I don't know. Does anyone care?
I think he did back in the day. That was like the last fight he had before he headed out of the UFC.
Okay, so the next fight is another tough one to pick for me. Cody Durden taking on Joshua Van.
Scroll up a little bit. We have to see the names. Oh wait, never mind. We're good.
Screw you. So Cody Durden is 3-2 in his last 5. Beat Matt Schnell by sub. Had a crazy ass fight with Bruno Silva, and then he had I don't know if I remember the Tagir fight very very well. But he is 33 at Atlanta, Georgia. Joshua Van is 4-1 in his last 5. Got knocked out by Charles Johnson, but had a decision comeback against Edgar Chairez. He's 23, so we have a 10-year age gap in a flyweight fight. Really interesting, if you ask me.
And a size difference in every Joshua Van fight.
Yeah, is that true? Is he how much outsized?
He's a tiny guy. He's an atom weight.
It says he's 5'5", and Cody Durden's 5'7", so not much, but obviously like that's never like fully correct.
Right.
So the problem with Joshua Van, like obviously Joshua Van is super talented, good striker, decent scrambler, all that stuff. I think he's a slow starter though.
Yeah.
And I think that Cody Durden is extremely fast starter. Go ahead.
When I was talking with Good Noodle about this picks, I came up with my moniker I got for Van, and that's Piotr Van, because he always has a bad first round and then he comes back just like good old Piotr.
But the problem is Cody Durden always has a good first round, right? Like he's a really fast starter.
That's right. Well, except against Matt Schnell. He lost that first round to Matt Schnell.
Yeah, but
where they had
Matt Schnell knew he was retiring heading into that.
Right.
So I think he just kind of was like, fuck it.
Just
get it over with. But yeah, so I don't know, man. I think Cody Durden could catch Joshua Van in this fight, but at the same time, like, I guess it is hard to pick against Joshua Van having that 10-year age gap. So I think I will go with Joshua Van. I think I'll pick him. Man, it's tough. I feel like what'll happen, like realistically, is Cody Durden will come out swinging. He'll hurt Joshua Van and knock him down, almost finish him in the first round.
Terrible first round for Van.
Yeah. And then the second round, he'll start to bounce back. And by the third, like he'll probably just KO Cody Durden. So yeah, give me Joshua Van third round KO. But again, I could see it getting really hairy in that first round. So this is a tough one for me to pick personally.
Well, it was the right one for Skatesman to pick because I have Van. I round 3 KO. Idaho Skatesman way. And Cody Durden's fight with Matt Schnell, he was eating some big shots. Matt frickin' Schnell, of all people. And only one thanks to his patented Darce choke against Joshua Van, who lives up to his moniker fearless on the feet and the ground. Durden, I think, will look even worse and get hit with even bigger shots than he ate against Schnell. In all likelihood, getting wobbled, you guys, at some point in this fight. When he shoots a takedown, Van is probably stuffing it. The little dude has an 80% takedown defense success rate. So this fight will largely be decided on the feet. and I don't trust Durden one bit to outland Van or, God forbid, knock him out. He ain't CJ, so he's not following the damn Van and putting him out. The ancient CD is going to look staggered and unfamiliar in a stand-up only fight, and I think he gets slept around round 3 after either losing 2 rounds or tying it up. The Van is truly custom made, not Durden, and he's producing roadkill on Saturday night. Sure, he was on bottom at some point against Edgar Shirez, but Shirez is way more aggressive on the feet and in his grappling than Durden is. And if flyweight Bruno Silva can knock him out within a matter of seconds, I have no doubt that Van can do the same later in the fight. Yoder Van for the win, baby.
I will side with Van. KO, second round body shots. There you go, drunken boxing.
Nice.
SS Jackson says he hasn't seen Van fight in a while. Weird, because he just fought 2 months ago.
I guess he wanted to get UFC 306 out of his mind.
Durden doesn't like getting hit to the body. You watch. Wasn't Cody Durden the name of a character in Fight Club? He says it was Tyler Durden. All right,
Tyler
well, there you go.
Yeah.
So the next fight will be Chris Weidman versus Eric Anders. This fight got canceled. Do you remember why?
It is because Anders got food poisoning, so he had to pull out of the fight. Whereas Weidman was
Shitting
like,
his brains out.
I want my fucking flat feet. I want my feet to make weight, and they didn't give it to him. They instead.
So this fight we already broke this fight down. Oh, yeah. What happened there?
Sorry. I was trying to scroll up.
Yeah, quit fucking with shit. That's how you ended the stream last time, damn it. So we already broke this fight down. Eric Anders, not very good at anything, not super bad at anything. Chris Weidman, former champ, he has terrible injuries now. Eye poking everybody. He sucks. He's washed. Again, though, like a guy that was never really like super good at anything, had good wrestling, but then obviously knocked out Anderson Silva at one point. Anyway, I'm gonna pick Eric Anders to beat Chris Weidman. I can't confidently pick Chris Weidman anymore at this point in his career. Myself personally, I believe Hank had picked Chris Weidman to beat Eric Anders last time we broke this down. So will he have the same pick? Yes.
I have Weidman by decision. Eric Anders' Achilles heel has always been his wrestling, and he's been out-grappled by the Iron Turtle and Andre Muniz, even allowing Jamie frickin' Pickett to lay on top of him at some point in their fight. No Jones. His only finish has come against the godforsaken Kyle Dawkins, and everyone else he's had close fights with. I think his dodgy grappling and lack of finishing ability will play into Weidman's hands, who doesn't have to cut weight again for this catch weight fight. It's 195 pounds, I'm pretty sure, and has been healthy since UFC 309, while Anders has to make a 3-week turnaround after pulling out due to food poisoning. I don't know if he'll be fully recovered going into this fight with Weidman, and a perfectly healthy Anders.
They both have to make a 3-week turnaround, dude. What are you even talking about? Yeah, like Eric Anders already fought.
No, he didn't. He was booked to fight Weidman, and then he.
I know, but you said he has to make a 3-week turnaround, so does Chris Weidman.
Yes, but he has to have a turnaround after he's had food poisoning. He's had to get over that for a week.
Dude, you shit your brains out, and then you're good.
Okay, I guess so.
And he got AIDS.
He got AIDS. He got AIDS, Skatesman. And a perfectly healthy Anders is still a pretty easy middleweight to beat. Football player with very little MMA experience. Weidman's been doing this for years and was beating middleweight Bruno Silva pretty handily, regardless of the eye pokes. Given that the old gloves are being used for this card, we can also fully expect eye poke after eye poke from Weidman with little consequences. And he might just win by eye poke TKO again or technical decision. It's not outside the realm of possibility, but in reality, I see Weidman pressuring Anders against the cage. Oh, he needs his toothpick for this one. Hank's driving him crazy. I see Weidman pressuring Anders against the cage, getting him down on occasion, and keeping him safe from whatever mediocre shit Anders throws his way for a 29-28 decision.
He's acting like Chris Weidman is still good. It's just so weird.
He's good enough to survive Tavares and pretty much beat the shit out of Bruno Silva. So I think he's got something.
Right.
The All-American shows off his American muscle with the wrestling tour de force and makes the fight no longer about ya boy, Eric Anders, but my boy. He's still my boy, damn it.
Drunken Boxing talking about Tommy Fury pulling out of the Darren Till fight. Hilarious.
No paycheck for you, Till.
Denial, what's up? He says, roll tide, ya boy.
Tide, ya boy.
Let's go, Alabama.
Did he get a lieutenant?
No, I don't think we need to.
Oh, sorry.
Did he get a Lieutenant Dan aluminum shin? I don't
know. Chris Weidman did.
Yeah, it didn't help because he still sucks.
Yeah.
Do you say he was holding his own against Brad Tavares?
He didn't get finished by him.
He got his ass kicked by Brad Tavares, dude.
Well, he looked good against Bruno Silva. That's all that matters. Knuckle dragging isn't legal anymore, so Weidman's done. That's a great point from Denial. All right.
Drunken boxing, though, I'm right there with you. I could care less about this fight. Yeah, same.
And it's pre-booked, honestly.
Next fight will be Randy Brown versus Brian Battle, who missed weight by 5 pounds. I don't know if this fight will even be happening, personally. It's a coin flip at this point.
It's happening.
Yeah, well, you do, so that's nice. Randy Brown is
way before
4-1 in his last 5, 34. Brian Battle is 3-1-1. That eye poke against Angelusa. Brian Battle got a vicious knockout against Kevin Jousset in his last fight, submitting AJ Fletcher, knockout of Gabe Green. So Brian Battle's definitely kind of come into his own. He's looking really good as of late. Randy Brown, I would say more tested against top level competition in the middleweight division. He's been around a little longer, but he has wins over Wellington Turman, who's not even in the UFC anymore, Muslim Salikov, who's washed, and then Zaleski, who's decent,
all right,
not bad. The real thing in this fight, it says that Brian Battle's 6'1" and Randy Brown is 6'3". I feel like he's a lot bigger than that. And I don't know. I feel like the size difference is going to be pretty apparent when this fight happens. At the end of the day, Brian Battle is on a big momentum swing, and he's looking really good. I like Randy Brown. I think this will be a good fight. I think it's going to be a close fight, and I think Brian Battle could finish Randy Brown. But I don't know, man. I feel like Randy Brown, how is he usually losing his fight? I remember he got knocked out by Luque.
He only got knocked out. Well, he got subbed by
JDM. That's tough, man.
He always goes to splits. But Brian Battle's the dude that wants to make it a fight.
True. Oh, man. The thing is, again, I don't even know. You say the fight's going to happen. Some of the chats, damn, 5 pounds. That is bad.
Yeah.
A new weight class, as Denial says. But yeah, I'd probably go with Brian Battle, probably by decision just to be safe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how that missing weight or if he had a bad weight cut or what will affect him. But yeah, let me go with Battle.
Yeah. Do you really think the Butcher is gonna make weight for a fist fight to a rude boy? I don't think he will. And I don't think he's gonna lose. He's not gonna lose either. His intimidating height, reach, and pressure game, I think it's going to be too much for Randy Brown, in my eyes. He was already having troubles with the pressure of Alizu Zaleski dos Santos, and aside from a quick 1-2 knockout of a 40-year-old man in Muslim Salikov, he's gone to close decisions with pretty much every fighter he's come across in the UFC, and against an actual scary pressure forward fighter like Jack Della Maddalena, he got slept pretty much. I know he got choked out, but he got knocked down pretty badly. Battle, I think, is one of those guys who's looking to finish every one of his opponents. And the point fighter style of Randy Brown is just not compatible with the dude who is constantly in your face, trying to put your lights out. I don't think the distance striking of Randy Brown is going to last very long, and eventually him and Battle will go blow for blow, with Battle crumpling him against the cage. Battle's a real contender in the UFC's welterweight division, and I think there will be a difference in grit and finishing ability between the two men here, with the Butcher cutting into the rankings with another highlight reel knockout in round 2. Know what I'm saying? Let's go, Pookie Bear. Good comment from Pulse. If it's not Christian, it's Chris Weidman. Should he leave the gloves in the cage if he loses? I think he should. It's Eric Anders.
I think you should have left the gloves in the cage a long time ago.
Yeah, especially with those fucking fingers coming out of there and poking eyes. Rude boy. Names are straight from SmackDown. Just bring it. Created character. They really are. That's a good point. Battle's deceivingly large, just a strange frame and build, and that's what gives him most of his advantages in his fight.
And that's what's giving most of his advantages. Why do you have the fake voice?
Except when it's
just use your voice.
Renat Fikretinov. Because I'm sick as a dog, dude. Honestly, I don't even know what my fucking vocal range is right now. I can barely hear out of one fucking ear.
And I'm talking like this because I'm doing a podcast.
And this is Howard Cosell. Here with the
Howard Cosell.
The call
My God, look at those monkeys run.
between Muhammad Ali and Smoking Joe Frazier.
Oh my God, Muhammad Ali, he looks terrible.
Holy shit.
I have never seen someone look as terrible as Muhammad Ali looks tonight. He looks like he just walked out of Auschwitz.
Wow, that is, and I survived World War II. I went to the camps, so I can make that joke.
I was in the camps.
Ali's so washed, he's selling rat poison. Holy shit. You are missing Marab tweaking at the press conference. Oh, God damn it. That's terrible. Well, maybe I'll do a Hank the Tank instant reaction to the press conference if we don't get copyright struck for
I
it.
thought we already got a press conference. What are you talking about?
That's true. Yeah, it's overboard. Clean MMA. Plus, they'll do another fucking press conference during the show. Who gives a fuck? It's a stupid fucking seasonal press conference. Clean MMA fight favors Brown, in my opinion, and a slobber knocker ugly fight is
That's
bad
a good.
world.
That's a good comment, Denial.
Yeah. Randy waits for the perfect shot too much. Yeah, because he's only gotten one against a 40-year-old man.
I'm getting older too.
Hopefully it isn't a hump fest then. Powerful strikers be so scared of each other a lot. Well, Randy Brown's going to be scared. I don't know. I don't think Brian Battle's going to be scared one bit. Yeah, Randy seems to lack killer instinct as well. I like Randy, but just doesn't have an edge, it seems. He does not. Just, yes, use your voice. Wow, Denial, he loves that you called me out for the... I'm sick. I'm sick.
But seriously though, like it's like when people on the news.
And today on the news, we're talking like this.
It's like no, just use your regular voice.
I'll try. I honestly can't tell the difference.
And it's really interesting because
I need time to form
I need
my
time.
thoughts, damn it.
I'm trying to stall, so I'm talking like this.
I can only be so good at improv, okay?
Improv.
Not shitting out gold a couple seconds a minute.
Yeah, well, maybe don't try to do improv all the time. Just talk about fights.
Oh. Is that what I'm supposed to do on this?
Anyway,
Unless
god
you're
damn
shitty-
it.
Yeah, too massive.
Speaking of
Shitty made World War II
yes,
massive?
I'm glad that he brought that up. That's actually what it's called, the transatlantic dialect. Like remember like those old-timey news things before movies? And today, the news of the world. Troops in Russia, or I don't know, whatever.
And all the great stars are here to see King Kong.
Yeah,
What-
yes, exactly. Yeah.
And here's Marilyn Monroe. Oh my gosh, you look dashing.
Of all the things said, the use your voice was amazing and maybe the funniest yet. Improv. Yeah, no improv. Speaking of things that might be weird, we've got Movsar Evloev taking on Aljamain Sterling. Super interesting fight. They're snubbing both of these guys because Dana and Hunter and Mick all collectively hate both men very much. I mean, I'm really interested in this fight because Movsar Evloev should win. I feel like he's a little more relentless scrambling wise. Both men have a similar game. Do you think Movsar has better striking than Aljamain Sterling?
Yeah, I think.
Okay, he would say yes. I mean, I think that's probably the nail in the coffin for Aljo, right? Like, I think that Movsar has better stamina, and I think that Aljo has a much better back take. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, I think if Aljo can get that body triangle and take Movsar's back like he did in the second Peter Yan fight, like I think it's a wrap. Wrap. Get the back. It's a wrap. But I don't know, man. Like the thing is like, I mean, does it make that much a difference that Aljo's like in a new weight class now? I don't know, and he looked really good against Calvin Kattar. So makes me be hesitant to pick Movsar in a decision, but I will end up taking him by decision 29-28. Give one round to Aljo, other two go to Movsar. I think it'll be a pretty hotly contested fight that Movsar edges out.
Yeah. I am going with Evloev by decision as well. Based on Aljamain Sterling's performance against Calvin Kattar alone, I'm picking Movsar Evloev to school him in this fight. Say what you want about Evloev's lack of finishes and dislikable style of fighting. He has moments of success against both Arnold Allen and Diego Lopez, two featherweights that I actually value quite a lot. And there has to be something he's doing right to get decision wins against those two. He's tall. He has a long reach, and though he lacks knockout power, has good timing with his striking and has caught good strikers on the feet, as well as being an ace when it comes to finding takedowns on his opponents and keeping them in bad positions. No diddy. Aljamain Sterling is very good at doing this too with his backpack, and that's a rap. He found the backs of Sandhagen, Yan, and Cejudo, but I think with his smaller frame and visually desperate grappling against a larger featherweight contender in Calvin Kattar, I think he's going to have a lot of trouble finding the back of Evloev, who I think beats Sterling in the scrambles and keeps himself dominant on top. Aside from the wrestling, his striking is also way more clean and advantageous than Sterling's, who often looks like he's swinging at air against his opponents or just throwing himself forward. Evloev can land and wobble his opponents when he's able to, not finish them. So I see Movsar schooling the former bantamweight champion on the feet and the ground for another boring 30-27 decision with the Funk Master in the ultimate funk after losing in a weight division he doesn't have any advantages in. God, can we just give Evloev an immediate title shot against Taporia so he can put his living Snoop?
Do you really think this fight will be boring?
Out cold. Yeah. Aljamain Sterling's not fun. Just that fight with Kattar alone, I don't think that was the worst fight on UFC 300. I don't trust him to have any good fights.
So do you think Movsar Evloev fights are boring?
He had a good fight with Lopez and a good fight with Allen.
Dude, his fights are bangers. They just don't have like knockdown, dragouts, like striking exchanges.
I think Aljo's gonna find a way to make this thing boring.
You think it'll be boring?
Yeah,
that's weird.
I just don't see it as fireworks, man. I just don't. And plus, whenever there's big heat going into a fight, usually it ends up shitting the bed. Like,
is there big heat? Oh yeah, I forget. You pay attention to every tabloid and anything anyone says to anybody. So yeah, there probably is big heat. What did Movsar Evloev like say that he was black or something?
No, Sterling.
No.
It was something way more serious, okay? Sterling accused Evloev of being a PED cheat, and Evloev had to like open up his fucking drawers and be like, see, no, I'm not a PED.
He's like, I'm not a PED cheat. I just think that it's okay to bang 16-year-olds.
Yeah, that's way better. and with the goat and with your third cousin. That's a good idea.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, they've had their back and forth. And there was, of course, the Aljamain Sterling classic. Well, Evloev, you still want to come to daddy. Let's get this rebooked, okay? Classic, just creepy Aljamain Sterling Diddy ass catchphrase. So I don't know. I don't trust this to be a good fight, but if it is, hey, that's wonderful.
This is gonna be a good fight.
Yeah. We interrupt this broadcast to bring you the 1939 World Series between the Brooklyn Dodgers and the LA Jets. Wow, what an incredible contest between.
What an incredible contest we have here.
The Giants win the pennant. In the prelims, disrespectfully so. Why the fuck is Bryce Mitchell versus Kron Gracie on the main card of a pay-per-view in 2020?
Okay, if you were the matchmakers, right, and you were like, former UFC bantamweight champion Aljamain Sterling versus Movsar Evloev, or if you had the option, right, or you're like insanely weird, strange man Bryce Mitchell who's been on Tucker Carlson versus anybody with the last name Gracie. What's going to sell more pay-per-views, theoretically?
Ugh. I think people associate Sterling with bullshit. So,
with what?
They associate Sterling with, oh, he won an Oscar. Oh, TJ blew out his shoulder. Oh, he had that fight with Cejudo. That was all right. But then he had that bad rematch match with Yan. Like, I guess I can understand them going with Mitchell and Gracie.
That's kind of my thought process, but
yeah. But honestly, that's a shit fight. So. Who gives a fuck about Kron Gracie? But maybe Brazil will. Sterling dirty, grappler offset and get weird striking battle?
Yeah, like Damian Maia versus Ben Askren.
Did they both have awkward striking? And I think Aljo has better actual takedowns as well. No, I disagree. I think Evloev's striking is actually pretty superb if he's going back and forth with Arnold Allen, and he usually wins his scrambles, whereas Sterling, 50-50. Sterling was a champ. People forget, man. He was
because it's forgettable.
He was close to the bantamweight GOAT when he destroyed TJ once he blew out his shoulder and won an Oscar against Yan. People forget, man.
Yeah, it's because he's forgettable.
9 Diddy. Yang. I'm going to predict a striking match. That'll be fun. In all fairness, he did dominate Calvin's more so than anyone has on the ground. Yeah. Calvin's washed. If Sterling can mix it up, he has it. He will not be able to, in my opinion. O'Malley versus Sean was dope, though. It's been a while since that one. Wait, O'Malley versus Sean.
That was like earlier this year, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, I think he means Aljo versus O'Malley.
Oh, yeah, that was dope for sure. Keep it in the family. Oh God, that's disturbing. Live at home in trailer, brother. Kron Gracie and a flat earth.
That's what this show is.
Yes. I didn't know there were so many layers to the Gracies till recently. Yeah, just like the Dagestanis.
UFC 1 was fixed, man.
Tight knit family unit right there. But let's get to the next fight, shall we?
We spent a lot of time talking about this fight.
Yeah. This was is a bad fight.
Next fight. Well, I think that fight's really intriguing, personally.
We'll see.
Next fight, Vicente Luque versus Themba Gorimbo. So, Vicente Luque is 22-10-1, 2-3 in his last 5, 33. Themba Gorimbo 14-4. He is actually 4-1 in his last 5. He's 33. So obviously, Vicente Luque was looking really good. Actually, was like poised to be like title contender, I think. And then the infamous Jeff Neal KO, where he actually had a brain bleed afterwards. And then he gets a bounce back win over RDA, and then Joaquin Buckley knocks him out. On the other side, Themba Gorimbo was purchased a house by The Rock, and then lost a fight by choke to AJ Fletcher. Since then, he's been on a 4-fight win streak over like
doing it for Dwayne.
Not very notable people. In my opinion, like Vicente Luque having that brain bleed like really just changed everything for me in picking Vicente. Both men are of similar age, but I truly believe that Vicente's like his mental isn't there anymore. I think he's afraid of getting hit. And I would be too if I was him. Themba, not really the guy to like cause you to be worried about his striking like a lot, but I'm still gonna pick Themba to win. I think that he's not as explosive as Vicente is or was in his prime, even with the grappling, the striking. But I just think that if we're talking about the long game, I think Themba's got this. Yeah, and give me Themba by decision.
Yeah, I'm picking an even sadder result than you, Skatesman. I'm going with Themba Gorimbo by round 2 knockout. This is a nightmare of a result, and I really hope the outcome I predict for this fight doesn't come to pass. But I just have a feeling that Gorimbo's going to take down Luque, just like Joaquin Buckley did, and ground and pound him into submission. No diddy. Vicente Luque, since his brain bleed injury against Geoff Neal, has not looked the same since.
Geoff?
His
name is Jeff.
My name is Jeff. Having a way too close fight with RDA, and then not really having a moment of success against Joaquin Buckley. The old Luque is gone. He's lost all coordination or heart, and what's left is a husk that's going to be played with and bullied by Gorimbo, sadly. And with the state of Luque's gas tank and chin, I think Gorimbo, who somehow didn't get a finish against Nico Price over 3 rounds, when Lawler found it in 5 seconds, will be able to find it this time in the second round after out-grappling a gone Luque and making him quit again. I know, it's a miracle. Thanks again, Rock, for making this all possible.
That's pretty much why, and like Themba's lack of explosivity is why I'm not picking him by finish. But now we've got a picker and gambler's nightmare of a fight.
Yeah, just to let you know, Jackson, it was not this year. It was in 2023.
Oh, was it? Oh, that's my bad. I thought it was this year. So yeah, we have a nightmare of a fight to predict. Anthony Smith versus Dominic Reyes. If we just go through like what they've been on, former John Jones victims, one more so than the other. Johnny Walker lost to him by decision, did Anthony Smith a year and a half ago. Split decision win over Ryan Spann. Then he gets knocked out by Khalil Roundtree. Vitor Petrino, he gets a really quick sub over him. And then he loses a decision to Roman Dolidze. He's 36. He is the underdog in this fight. On the other side, you've got Dominic Reyes, who was looking good, knocked out Chris Weidman, who sucks. And then he got that title fight against John Jones. Some people thought he won. I actually remember watching this pay-per-view live with the fam.
Certainly impressive.
Then he gets knocked out by Jan Blachowicz, knocked out by Yuri Prohaska, and one of the sickest knockouts too, right? With that spinning elbow from Yuri.
Yeah, spinning
So
back
sick.
elbow.
Knocked out by Ryan Spann, and then he knocks out fucking Dustin Jacoby just
Dominic
5
Reyes.
months ago. What's that?
Vintage Reyes.
Yeah,
Probably won
I
that
guess.
Counter.
He is the minus 370 favorite, and he's 34. Wow. I mean, just wow. In a straight up striking like kickboxing match, I think that Dominic Reyes wins this fight. In like a both men in their prime MMA match. Anthony Smith wins this fight. It's just like these men are both at weird spots in their career. Dominic Reyes, go ahead.
That's why I think this is actually a good fight to make between the two.
Yeah, sure.
Bo.
Yeah, but again, like
Chance.
as far as betting on it and making picks, this is a nightmare. As I've said like 5 times now. So I think that okay, like this is how I see the fight going. Like first round,
Okay.
Anthony Smith. Like and Anthony Smith is a strong starter. He I mean shit, remember when he fucking beat the hell out of Glover? And then all of a sudden, halfway through the fight, like he starts losing teeth and getting the fuck beaten out of him.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's the other
yeah. So like he is a strong starter. I mean, gets a first round sub over Vitor Petrino. I think first round goes to Anthony Smith, and then I think Dominic Reyes kind of takes over the next 2 rounds. So
Dominic Reyes.
does he get a finish? I don't know. I would love to see him get a finish because I hate Anthony Smith. I actually think that once Anthony Smith takes some damage, like he kind of just goes into defense mode. So you might see that, and you might see like him get hurt in the second round, kind of shell up and just get TKO'd, get taken out of there.
Well, you're definitely going to hear him at one point say, "You're attacking my family." I have to.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but yeah, that would be hilarious. Yeah, I think that's probably the most likely outcome. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, somewhere in the second round, Reyes lands a big shot. Anthony Smith kind of, because he's taking so much fucking damage, he's just kind of turtles up, and Reyes gets him out of there. Give me TKO, specifically TKO, second round, Dominic Reyes.
Not bad. I have Reyes by round 1 knockout. After Anthony Smith got battered on the feet and crushed on the ground by middleweight Roman Dolidze, I don't think I can ever pick him to win a fight again. He was getting destroyed by Vitor Petrino for that lucky Gilly Goose game.
No, he wasn't.
Petrino tripped into.
He was getting destroyed by Vitor Petrino.
I mean, he was getting.
Dude, the fight was like 50 seconds.
He looked like he was already quitting, dude. It was sad to see.
The fight was like 50 seconds.
He was on his way. He was on his way to losing.
What are you even talking about?
It was on its way. And a
Oh my
solid,
God.
fast striker in Khalil Roundtree knocked him out lickety-split. I think Dominic Reyes is still quick and well-timed in his striking, despite getting knocked out with a jab by Ryan Spann. That performance against Dustin Jacoby was vintage Reyes. The counters, the angles of his strikes, the speed of his entries, everything was still there. Against failed family protector and warm body, Anthony Smith, I see Reyes being at the top of his game, throwing looping punches and knees up the middle that stun Smith and put him on wobbly legs before an onslaught of punches against the cage finishes Smith off in the very first round. He just don't got it anymore, and Reyes does. Why? He's Dominic Reyes. He's Dominic Reyes. So,
Chris Cushman asking if this is the UFC. No, this is Pride World Grand Prix.
this is
3.
Glory.
Yeah, Glory
Oh,
5. It's the Bellator, my brother. Let's read some comments. I think they're pretty good.
Homo erectus via decision.
No, it's mean. He's talking about Themagrimbo.
Yeah.
That's mean. That's racist too.
That is bad. Any other comments?
Paul says that technically they both have a claim to beating Bones. Oh my, Pulse is that. I'm just like, I love Pulse, good friend of mine. He's that guy. Well, technically Anthony Smith could have taken the win with that illegal knee. It's like no, he wouldn't have been called beating him. What is Hank doing? I think his parents are calling him for some task. Jones's kids battling it out. Reyes beat John, man. Yeah. No, he didn't. But Reyes by first round KO, a brutal KO, and Smitty retires. Oh, drunken boxing. I just would love that so much. Wait, is Anthony Smith a good striker? I don't remember much special about him. Dude, he actually is a good like MMA kickboxer. For about a minute and a half. In real life, Reyes beat Jones, but we don't live in the real world. I mean, I don't know. I have to go back and watch that fight, but I mean, I at least thought John by the end of the fight was winning. And Reyes like started really strong and at least beat him in the first couple rounds. I bet 15K on Evloev and Raw. Who's Raw? Yeah.
Oh, this is
UFC.
Patrick.
Where guys train UFC, bro. Okay, got a link? Yeah, we got a link. It's on Hank the Tank's OnlyFans. Oh, Rachmanov. Yeah, $15,000. I don't know, but hey, you know what? Do your thing, man.
I'm against betting.
Oh my god. Reyes legit outpointed him though. Really, that's funny because he has a loss on his record when it goes to John Jones. Burgers and blunts. JK, it's City Life lore. Oh yeah. What? This guy isn't even showing the fights. What a clown.
I see.
But yeah, anyway. Next fight is a guy who Hank the Tank is wet for all the time. Wet and hard at the same time. His favorite fighter of all time.
Great.
Nate the Train Landwehr. Going up against Do Ho Choi, the Korean Superboy. Nate the Train is 18-5. Doesn't sound like a really good fighter to me with that record. Do Ho Choi is 15-4-1. Nate the Train is 4-1 in his last 5, last losing to Dan Ige via decision. And he last got a knockout over Jamal Emmers, who not super great, but decent fighter. Austin Lingo, David Onama, and Ludovic Klein are his 3 wins before that. Do Ho Choi knocked out Bill Algeo in his last fight. Kyle Nelson, he had a a draw? Majority draw over?
Like a headbutt or something, got a point.
Okay. I wasn't sure if he had gotten stopped for some reason or but then he got knocked out by Jourdain 4 years ago before that. 6 years ago, he got knocked out by Jeremy Stevens and had that Hall of Fame fight with Cub Swanson. So this will be a banger of a fight. There's honestly no way this fight's terrible. Going to be a fantastic fight. And the thing is that I think that Do Ho Choi is a really good fighter and very explosive. But I think that Nate Landwehr has the ground game.
Mm-hmm.
That'll give him problems as well. It's hard to pick Korean Superboy in this fight, like literally whatsoever. But Nate the Train, I don't know if he's going to fight smart. He could just want to have a slobber knocker with Do Ho Choi, and that could get him caught. But barring that, I think Nate Landwehr gets the knockout here. I'm going to pick him by second round knockout. But I don't know, man. I mean, Korean Superboy has had some time off. Had that like knockout streak of losses, comes back, and he got a knockout of his own against Bill Algeo, who's a decent fighter and probably on the level of anybody that Nate Landwehr has fought recently. I don't think that anyone Nate Landwehr has beaten is like miles ahead of him. So yeah, I mean, would love to see Do Ho Choi get a win here. Not because I hate Landwehr or anything. I just think that he's the more interesting like storyline to get the win, right? But nonetheless, Nate the Train, always a fun fighter to watch, and I know exactly who Hank the Tank will be picking in this fight.
Hey, I'm just picking the same as you, okay? I'm basing it off the Skatesman way here. I got Nate the Train Landwehr by round 2 KO Berber. Jamal Emmers can drop Nate the Train twice and not finish him, and Landwehr can withstand the knockout power of Dan Ige for 3 rounds. There's no chance in hell that the Korean Superboy Do Ho Choi knocks the Train out. I just don't see that happening, especially after that was his. Yeah, exactly. And fuck it, it's might as well be a fucking response to drunken boxing. He's not gonna. Oh yeah, he knocks the Train off it. Yeah, just like Jamal Emmers when he knocked him down 3 fucking times. Then Nate knocked him out flat with a fucking uppercut, just 1 fucking punch.
Look how mad he's getting.
I just don't see it happening. especially after that was his one knockout win. He's had what, 5 fights over the span of 8 years? Nah, he's not knocking out the Train. And even if he drops him, Nate's coming back with a vengeance, like he always does, throwing out head kicks, getting takedowns, and pressuring Doo-Ho Choi until he quits. Bill Aljo is a fucking idiot and couldn't help himself throwing lame, spinny shit, getting incomplete takedowns, swinging wildly, just like he did against Kyle Nelson.
Oh my
And
God.
even still, he was able to hit Doo-Ho Choi with some big shots. Nate the Train is way more precise in his striking, has options of attack pretty much everywhere, and will survive the fight regardless of who lands the bigger punches. And I think going into round 2, Nate's going to break Doo-Ho Choi, hit him with an uppercut, and put him out cold. Clarksville, kryptonite for the Superboy. Nate the Train in the UFC. Hey, Las Vegas, take a look at this bicep. And you, doofus boy, whoop my ass and see what happens. Boop. I'll be damned if I ain't handsome. So,
Wow, Hank gave that pre-fight breakdown like he was defending himself in court.
yes.
And
I was defending God, my religion.
all right.
Also, remember this, guys. It was a knockout, but he hit him on like the side of the head, and he was like, "Ooh, no, that's it. I'm done." He didn't. Oh man, the knockout.
Yeah, this is just
put him out
this
cold.
is crazy.
Yeah.
All right, man.
I don't see it at all.
Yeah, I mean, I can totally see Doo-Ho Choi getting the win here because I don't know. I think that
X-Bell.
Nate Landwehr fight's kind of reckless.
Welcome to the Skate Tank MMA chat, X-Bell enthusiast, first time viewer here. Are you going to be watching Glory?
Yeah, but I don't know if we'll be covering it. We already kind of gave a quick breakdown of the fight earlier, or the card earlier in the stream. But
if you want to check that out, it's earlier in the stream.
yes, but good to see you. Yeah, Busan, Korea, the place where trains, planes, and zombies. What? I got Choi. Damn, a KO streak of losses. Yeah, and then he came back. Yeah, brother.
Yeehaw!
Yeah, I love the Train too, but I think Nick doesn't fight smart and gets slept. Yeah, I think that's a totally likely outcome. I just think the more likely outcome is Nate gets the knockout here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's going to be a slobber knocker, so I think anything could happen. The next fight, we go from Hank the Tank's favorite fighter of all time to his least favorite fighter of all time, Bryce Mitchell, versus Kron Gracie. So Bryce Mitchell, okay, yeah, let me just read the particulars. Featherweight fight. Bryce Mitchell 16-2.
Bryce Mitchell.
In his last 5 fights, he is 3-2. Got literally murdered by Josh Emmett. I'm surprised he must have gotten resurrected or something. Dan Ige, he beat, and then he lost his sub by Ilya Taporia, a fight in which I actually picked Bryce Mitchell to win. What's that?
Which is not the worst loss in the world.
No, right. Yeah, like 2 power punchers got him. I mean, I remember Bryce Mitchell was like really sick for that fight too, and he still fought anyway. No excuse, probably going to get his ass whooped by Ilya either way.
Ford was on his side, remember.
But those are his only 2 losses, and then he beat Edson and Andre Fili. So his last win is Ige by decision, which is actually a really good win.
Yeah, aged very well.
He's 30. Kron Gracie lost to Charles Jourdain by decision,
36.
And Bryce Mitchell is 30.
No, Kron Gracie's 36.
Okay, you want to do the read the tail of the tape?
You're good.
It sounds like you do.
I'm sorry.
Okay, can I continue?
Yes, sorry.
Okay, thanks. So Kron Gracie is 3-2 in his last 5, losing to Charles Jourdain and Cub Swanson by decision. Weird that he had a fight almost 2 years ago and then 5 years ago against Cub Swanson. That's like a huge fucking gap.
Sad.
And then he was in Ryzen. Anyway, he is 36. So he's only 5-2. Super interesting fight. Kind of not really.
No.
I think that Kron Gracie like kind of sucks, and I think that I've seen videos of him like being roasted by his family members because he sucks. And also, I think he tried to have like a stand-up fight against Cub and against Charles Jourdain, like until he got his ass whooped, and then he started trying to do like shitty jujitsu, and I think that's what a lot of people were criticizing him for. So I think this is a really good matchup for Bryce Mitchell coming off of that brutal knockout loss.
Good land.
And Kron Gracie coming off of a loss in where he kind of just got humiliated. I think this is a really good matchup for both men. Should be a grappling match, but you never really know. I think that Bryce Mitchell has better stand up than Kron Gracie. It's kind of like
Crazy.
Pueblo Evan Sterling.
Mhm.
It's like the same logic I'm using. I'm gonna pick Bryce Mitchell. I don't think he can finish
No.
Kron Gracie, but I will pick him by decision. Yeah, interested to see how both men look coming back. And honestly, like, if Kron Gracie loses this fight, I can't imagine he's in the UFC much longer.
No. Unless he still has the name Gracie and so because he's a Gracie. It's also interesting having to say better stand up and Bryce Mitchell in the same sentence. You usually
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that Bryce Mitchell has terrible stand up. I mean, he beat Edson Barbosa, and he had some decent striking exchanges with him in that fight. So
yeah, it's just been a long time since he's had it on display.
Sure.
But I am picking Bryce Mitchell by decision as well. Kron Gracie's trash in the UFC, and I can say that with complete confidence. His performance against Cub Swanson was total ass cheeks, just getting mauled, counter grappled, and outboxed by an out of his prime Cub Swanson over 3 rounds, and then getting absolutely schooled by Charles Jourdain for another 15 minutes. Aside from his name being Gracie, there's no reason for him to still be in the UFC. He's not a real fighter, just some soy BJJ bastard. And he's going to look like it when Bryce Mitchell beats him up on the feet and dominates him on the ground, using his expert control to stay out of trouble or counter submissions. I think this is going to be a cinch for the Arkansas boy. I think he's more talented of an MMA fighter. He's an actual MMA fighter, and that will go a long way in his featherweight contenders fight that Gracie should never have gotten in a million years. Why is he getting a jump up the rankings? There's no rhyme or reason to it besides, oh, hey, he's a Gracie. Disgrace to the Gracie name. And Thug Nasty.
Gracie?
He's the disgracey that Gracie.
Nice.
Oh! Thug Nasty sending a message to the family that the times they are a change. They are a changing, brother. The earth has been flattened and Satan is everywhere. Pray with me, Gracies. Pray with me.
I need Kron Gracie taken out tonight. Can you do the job?
I'm gonna rear naked choke him like he's a deer I'm hunting in the woods.
This is how you do the Don, right?
You gotta talk like this, because I'm a little quieter and wiser.
Look at how they massacred my boy.
Look at what they did to my family.
Hey, kid, they shot me in front of a bunch of oranges. Oranges, I tell you.
Oranges, I tell you.
And that's what I call blood oranges. Hey!
Oh, what are you gonna do about it, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna take out that whole family. I want him dead. I want his whole family dead. I want to piss on his grave. I want to come out.
Oh.
Anyway, next fight will be.
Wait, let's read some comments.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Gracie in your facey. I don't believe in seatbelts. Bryce Mitchell is brand new conspiracy theory he's developed over these.
Fresh off the press.
I heard someone say Ronda Rousey has better striking than Kron Gracie. It's true. She's got better head movement. The government invented seatbelts to take out your family. He's trying to go after my family.
Somebody tell Anthony Smith that.
He needs a Candy Crush. I got Bryce. He does. It's actually a great matchup for Bryce. Bryce had his moments on the feet with Topuria.
I think it's a good matchup for Kron, too.
That is true. Yeah, I mean, I honestly think of Bryce
Prone.
like, if the strategy doesn't work, like he could get caught. Because remember, when he was on top against Dan Ige, he was like laying on him. He wasn't like trying to go for a submission or trying to wail on him. It's like he stood there. So honestly, he could get caught, but you never know.
Yeah. Anyway,
I hate it.
So the next fight is Cirogan Bongamin. You know what Bongamin means?
I think you've told me this before, but I forgot.
It means good boy.
He's a good boy to the UFC when they need him.
Yeah, I guess. Anyway, that's a whole nother show.
I want my title shot. Give me
the 34-year-old Cirogan is 3-2 in his last 5. One of those losses coming to Francis, and then coming to John Jones. So, like, can we really fault him? He did knock Sergey Spivak out a year ago. Jeez, I don't even remember that fight. I do remember that war he had with Tai Tuivasa, though.
Yeah.
And Derek Lewis, he knocked out. Volkov, though, on a 4-fight win streak. Sergey Pavlovich. He beat Sergey Pavlovich?
Yeah.
I feel like I should remember that.
By decision. That was on the Whitaker Aliskarov card.
Okay.
Completely.
Tai Tuivasa, he subbed with the Ezekiel choke. Romanov, he knocked out. And Rosenstruck, he knocked out. So, this is a sick fight. Sick-ass fight. But I don't know, dude. I mean, obviously, like, Cyril's going to win. but I would love to see Volkov win, and I think that he could, but he
I
won't.
think he could. Yeah.
Like he just won't do it. I don't know. Like, it's just Volkov gets to this point all the time in his career where he's like right on the cusp of getting a title shot, #1 contender, and then Derek Lewis knocks him out. Or what was his last loss? Tom Aspinall submits him. It's like, or in this case, Cyril's gonna just beat him up.
Again.
I mean, Drunken Boxing's going Gone by knockout. I don't see it.
Money. He clearly wants to bet on it.
Yeah, I don't really see it happening, but late. I think if you're gonna pick him to knock out Volkov, I would go late. Volk hasn't fought in how long? Are you saying Volkanovski or Volkov? Because Volkov just fought 5 months ago.
Everybody apparently forgot his fight with Sergey where he schooled him.
I totally did. I did forget that fight. I do remember him schooling Sergey, but I just don't remember it happening.
At the very least, people should remember his coaches combing up his hair.
Oh yeah, that's right. They're combing his hair. I remember the fight was weird because top level Russians don't usually fight each other. But yeah, anyway. Again, Volkov just every time he gets here, he doesn't get over the hump. I would love to see Volkov win because I kind of don't like Cyril Gane anymore. I've really soured on him as of late. Not taking fights, taking movie opportunities, and then just like refusing to fight people. The only thing that makes me tentative about picking him is that one fight where it was really close against Tai Tuivasa. I think I think in order to beat Gane, you got to make it ugly, and I just don't think Volkov can do that.
I think he's too slow to make it ugly.
True. Yeah, Cyril Gane is pretty fast. So, maybe a late stoppage, but I'm going to pick Gane by decision.
I have also got Gane by decision. I wanted to pick the upset in Volkov real bad. Bless you, Skatesman. But unfortunately, I was reminded by the online MMA community that these two have fought before and Gane 50-45'd him. He was faster, and yeah, he did.
Oh, it does say 2 right there.
On 2. Yeah, he schooled Alexander Volkov the last time. He was faster and more slick in his striking the first time, and he probably will still be this time around, especially since Volkov had to pull out of their first scheduled bout this year due to a knee injury, probably making him even less mobile in this fight with Gane. All the odds are stacked against him. He was able to pull off a massive upset against Sergey Pavlovich, but Sergey's just a plotter. Gane's a real athlete at heavyweight, much like Tom Aspinall. There will be a clear difference in quality of performance and accuracy here. Gane's going to kick at range, come in with the big shots when he needs to, and the tall but slow striker, and Volkov's just going to eat them. His only way to win is to knock out Gane, and I don't think that's happening. He's never been put out, so I've got Gane to win a clear unanimous decision. Volkov's golden locks will never be the same again after this one, and just maybe Cyril Gane will finally get his title shot, you know. I am scared of Thomas Binal, but I have no choice if it means losing a title shot. Oh. So,
did you write that down in your notes?
Yes.
Oh God. Okay. Anyway,
the
next fight will be Gane by knockout. I bet on it. Juicy odds. I think Gane makes a statement. Losing to John in 30 seconds and costing me a bag is what killed Gane for me. Why did you bet against John Jones?
Him ducking Aspinall is why I fucking hate Gane.
Yes, and I think we all know why he hates Ian Gary. Talked about it extensively on the show yesterday that is no longer available anywhere. Wiped completely from the internet.
One time only.
Gane is just a better fighter. Nothing's changed. All right.
Wow. That's mean to Volkov.
That's mean. I like Volkov. Hey. Hey. Shavkat Rakhmonov. Well, 2 undefeated fighters. Shavkat beating Stephen Thompson, Jeff Neal, Neil Magny. Can we stop fighting Jeff Neal and then Neil Magny? Anyway.
Got to take out the Neals, baby.
Carlston Harris and Michel Prazeres. He is the minus 400 heavy favorite, 30 years old from Kazakhstan. Ian Gary beat Michael Page, Jeff Neal, Neil Magny, Daniel Rodriguez, and Song Kanon. He is 27. Dude, what's a better win, Steven Wonderboy Thompson or Michael Venom Page? I mean, that's really Daniel Rodriguez. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I think that
Maybe Stephen. I'd honestly say it's Wonder Boy since he did great against Buckley for most of that fight. I think Wonder Boy still got it.
I think MVP is the better win.
Nah.
But yeah. So look, you can see it up there. I have Rakhmonov to win. I think he's gonna probably finish. Ian Gary.
I hope it's a KO. I hope.
You know what? Actually want you to go first. I want you to talk about your.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Here, check it out, guys.
Because this is gonna be a just visceral.
Check it out. I got Shavkat Rakhmonov by round 2 submission. Finally, we get to see the downfall of Ian Gary. I know I'm a broken record saying that Ian Gary's going to lose over and over again, but I really think it's true this time around, okay? Call me fucking crazy for thinking Shavkat's beating this little prick. Shavkat's just a fighter that drowns you, and I think it's hard for any welterweight fighter to avoid the takedowns and smothering of Shavkat. Gary has won his last couple fights by running away from Geoff Neal and taking down a striker and MVP. Against Shavkat, he can't run away for very long and will lose the scrambles against him. So his only chance is to either knock Shavkat out or pray that he outpoints him for 5 rounds, which just isn't happening. Eventually, the cuck's getting taken down, just like his wife, every time he locks him out of the house. And then the pincer-like grip of Shavkat's finding the neck of Gary and tapping his ass out. Regardless of point fighting or tentative stand-up BS, Ian Gary can't avoid the takedowns forever. It's just a matter of time before he's on the mat tapping. I hope Layla runs away with the nutritionist and their kids up for adoption after this one. It's the best possible outcome because at least Leandro can have some better role models as a family unit instead of a cuck and a wag. Shavkat's coming for that belt, Bilal.
Interesting. So yeah, obviously, like Shavkat, 100% finishing rate. Both men undefeated, both men young, like in their career. Super interesting fight on paper. But I think that the biggest issue that Ian Gary is coming up against here, not only that Shavkat like is a finisher, I just think that 25 minutes with Shavkat Rakhmonov is a really tough task for anybody. You can survive 3 rounds, but I think in the 4th round, Shavkat's gonna just come just as hard for the finish. No diddy. But yeah, I mean, I think that there is a chance that Ian Gary could win this fight. He has more than enough skills to hold his own. I think with anybody in the welterweight division. Am I picking him to win? No. Do I think it's likely that he wins? No. But I'm not just saying like this guy is a cuck, and I hope his kids get put up for adoption after this fight. It's funny because if Hank would have picked him to win, and I would have said something like that, like, we would have had to have a serious conversation about ending our channel. Like I said, I hope Patty Pimblett gets hit by a double-decker bus after his finish win, but we're not going to go there. Even though we just did.
You see, that's divorce. It's a different thing. It's a different
thing. No, I mean, it's just like, damn, dude. I don't understand the visceral hate for this guy. But when your whole entire life is MMA, I understand it, man. So yeah, Shavkat Rakhmonov gets it done by finish. Is it going to be a knockout? Is it going to be a submission? Who knows? I might change my. No, I'll probably keep it around 2. At least one of us will be right? If he does finish. Submission or knockout. So next fight is the main event of the evening. What's that?
Let's read some comments before we get
sure.
To Neal's Shavkat by however he wants. That's a good point because both of us have him by finish. Shavkat via calf slicer. That'd actually be pretty sick. You're fucking scream, man. I'm on the same time. Gary's been overhyped for a while. Yeah, for a minute. Yeah, but he finds a way to win. I got to give him credit there. Harsh. He's a harsh individual, so got to be harsh back. But let's talk about the main event.
Except for when people are harsh back to you, you freak out on them.
It is a double standard. I'm
true. Anyway, Alexandre Pantoja taking on Kaya Sakura. Yeah, so obviously Alexandre Pantoja, I think he's like 5-0 versus the top 10 in the weight class. Beating literally everybody in the top 5 in his last couple fights. He's 34 out of Brazil. Kaya Sakura, on the other hand, is he's 4-1 in his last 5. Knocking out Juan Archuleta in the last Ryzen versus Bellator card, right? Knocking out Yuki Matoya, losing a decision to Hiromusa Ogikubo, Kenta Takizawa, and that guy. So
Whoever that is.
one-time conqueror of Kyoji Horiguchi is Kai Asakura. Also won a split decision against Manel Cop, whatever the fuck his name is. Then he lost to Manel, and obviously losing to Hiromusa. Did he get a rematch with Kyoji ever?
I have no idea.
All right. Well, you seem very angry talking about this now.
I'm not angry. I just have furry eyebrows.
Yes, very. Anyway, so the thing, like, okay, it's weird that this fight's even happening, right? Like, when did Saki Kabara and Dana White sit down and talk about this? Like, yo, you know what we should do? Like, it sounds like they're like getting high or something, and they're just like, yo, dog, we should have Kai Sakura fight flyweight champ. Dude, that's a sick idea. Like, I don't even understand like how this came to be.
No idea.
I think that the UFC is desperate, and they're just trying to bring in somebody to fight Pantoja. I think it's very unlikely that Kai wins. Not to mention, like, do you know who Hiromusa Ogikubo is?
Not sure.
He's the guy who has been beating, or he beat, what the fuck is his name? The crazy hair young dude, Shinru Makoto, or whatever the fuck his name is. Remember, he's like his student. Shinru was Hiromusa's student, and then they had like a grudge match.
Right.
On a red. Yeah.
They still didn't forgive each other afterwards.
Right. Yeah, and it was a weird, about cleaning toilets. Anyway, so if Hiromusa Ogikubo can beat Kai, and granted, this is 2 years ago, so fair enough. But if Hiromusa can beat Kai, like laying on him, I think that Pantoja surely can do the same thing. Now, Kai Asakura can catch Pantoja and put him out, but Pantoja is kind of like a monster. This dude like doesn't get hurt. He's a fucking Terminator. He just keeps walking forward, keeps fucking trying to take you down, keeps trying to fucking ground and pound you. Like, God, this is just a tall task for Kai Asakura to beat Pantoja. Again, I would love to see it happen because I want to see something new and interesting happen. And also, like, I think he'd be the first Japanese fighter to ever win a UFC title. Am I correct?
First Japanese talent, yes. Although if you technically count like tournaments that you get a belt for, then I'm pretty sure Sakuraba won a flyweight Grand Prix at some point.
Flyweight?
No, it was some other. It was like an Asian final.
A UFC Asian final?
Yeah, I think so.
That doesn't even sound like a real thing.
I mean, I can check.
Yeah, check. Because I think... Did Sakuraba ever fight in the UFC?
I think he did.
Anyway, shows you what we know about Japan. We are not JMMA nerds. But yeah. Shit, dude. Pantoja, dude. By decision. Could he get a like ground and pound like late in the fourth round or something? Yeah. Maybe submission late in the fourth, sure. But yeah, I'm gonna just pick Pantoja by decision. I think he just largely like 50-45 beats Kai Asakura. You might get that one moment where Kai Asakura like hurts Pantoja and we're like, oh shit. And then he just takes him down and on the way to unanimous decision win. So that's my official prediction for this one. What about you?
Yeah, he won the UFC's Ultimate Japan tournament.
Okay, yeah, you're absolutely correct.
Yeah, he's one of the first of only 2 Japanese champions in UFC history. So there's another one I don't even know about. So there's that too. I guess I'll look.
Well, there you go.
But oh Jesus Christ, I have Pantoja by round 2 sub.
Oh wow,
gonna find a finish this time around. I really want Kai Asakura to win this one. Pantoja should have lost to Steve Erceg. He's a great champion, but he's pretty much beat every solid flyweight in the division. So that's actually detrimental to the UFC right now, much like Mighty Mouse. He needs to lose, and someone's got to beat him, but it's not going to be Asakura. Kai has won most of his fights through knees and soccer kicks to his opponents on the ground. And sure, there are a few times he got some jaw-breaking punches or knees up the middle, but as you know, they were coming in for takedowns. But Pantoja literally has the face of a leather boot. He won't get knocked out by whatever Asakura throws. And if Pantoja gets Kai Asakura down to the ground, a place he hasn't been on bottom in often, and when he is, it's not pretty. I really see a good possibility of Pantoja locking in a vintage sub and making Asakura tap out, preferably in the second round, since I give Asakura a little respect as a former Verizon Bantamweight champion who has thrown some knees up the middle against wrestlers and knocked them out. However, I just think he's going to be a fish out of water compared to guys like Steve Urseg, Brandon Moreno, and even Royval on the ground. He's quit before on bottom, and he'll quit again with a Venus flytrap like Pantoja on top of him. I think he's not used to the cage or the kind of mat wrestling that the UFC has to offer, and he's going to get choked out pretty quickly by the vice grip of Pantoja. Cannibals chomping on another corpse in the octagon on Saturday, no Diddy. And Japanese Oliveira's tapping out in round 2 of a title fight once again. Please, Asakura, make flyweight great again.
Japanese Oliveira?
Well, he's got the blonde and he's got the sun.
He doesn't fight at all like Charles Oliveira, though.
Yeah, but during the press conference.
So anybody that's blonde is Charles Oliveira now?
They got to wear the sunglasses too, and they got to be the cool.
So blonde and sunglasses equals your Charles Oliveira now.
Exactly. Please, Asakura, make flyweight great again, dude. I'm begging you. Get the miracle knee. Get DQ'd. I don't care. Put him out of commission. What was I saying?
Yeah, that would be sick, dude. He like throws an illegal knee and gets DQ'd.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
That'd be sick.
Yes, he would be a star.
I would love that.
Matter if he lost, just knee him in the fucking face. But yeah, I was looking up his Tapology. You were asking if he had a rematch against somebody.
Kyoji Horiguchi.
Yes, he did have a rematch with him. He beat him the first time, and then he lost the second fight.
What a loser!
Yeah, he got beaten by knockout in the first round. Classic Ryzen to lose.
No, Kyoji. He knocked out Kyoji in like what was it, like 50 seconds?
A minute and 8 seconds.
All right, well, I was off by 18 seconds.
Classic Ryzen.
He says, "Do Bronx-san." What is up, Hippo? Yeah. Anyway, whatever. Really good card, stacked top to bottom. Looking forward to it. My fucking sister's getting married. She's having a reception tomorrow, so I'm like, oh shit. How am I gonna watch this card? But anyway, I'll catch up on it. No biggie.
I had to go.
There's fights all day tomorrow, which is crazy. One's gonna start here soon. I'm sure Isha and or Jay will be covering that. So hop in over there, you guys. After that,
Hank the Tank's crash out fight companion for UFC.
Yes, tomorrow. Hank the Tank will be having a miserable time right here on this very YouTube channel. So like and subscribe. Stay tuned for that. And then obviously we'll be doing post show and a breakdown of all of our wonderful picks. Which, by the way, I need to save those.
Oh shit! Oh wait, never mind. I'm good.
Yes. Asker also won a decision over Cobb and then lost. Yeah, I already talked about that. But yeah, anyway. Anything else left to say?
It's going to be a good card, and there's plenty of MMA happening tonight and tomorrow. So get caught up. It's good action.
All right, man. Well, lead us out.
You have escaped the war zone for now. I don't know, man. I think that Kai Asakura's got a chance against Pantoja. He's going to take his hand. He's going to push him right up against his stand. He's going to fucking break that head like it's a goddamn grapefruit. And then, Pantoja, Luke is going to shell up. He's going to turn into a turtle just like that. What other...